How to do a basic haircut, a D Woods visual. The first thing you want to do is cover your client with the cape. Next, you want to comb their hair thoroughly. This will make the process of cutting it easier. Now we're ready to cut. Since we're going for the all even look, I'm going to use a guard. Now you can go for a lower cut with no guard, but it leaves you with a smaller window for error. It also depends on the client's desired length. You can start with any area of the head you choose. You just want to make sure you cut in the direction the hair grows, and always angle the clippers to the shape of your client head. Depending on the type of hair your client has, it may take several strokes over the same area for you to achieve the smooth, all even look you desire. I typically use a brush or a comb to help me smooth the hair out during this process. You want to do the same thing on both sides of your client's head. Here, I'm demonstrating what I meant earlier when I said always angle your clippers to the shape of your client's head. This technique helps you achieve that all even look you desire by allowing you to make smooth, even strokes with the contour of your client's head shape. Here I am showing you the center of the hair growth spot that we all have at the top of our head. I always leave this area to be the last area I cut. The reasoning behind that is you want to spend more time on this area due to the fact that you need to cut in the direction that the hair grows. And since this is the center of your growth area, it grows in many different directions. So be careful here or you may gap the client, which in return will leave a bald spot in the area. Even though you have a guard on, it can be corrected, but it requires you to cut the hair even lower and your client may not be pleased with your work. Now we're ready for what I call cleanup. Basically, you look for any uneven spot on your client's hair and clean it up to look smooth and even all over. This process can be very tedious and requires you to pay close attention if you are truly trying to achieve the all even smooth look. You just want to go over areas that seem to look like small spots or small clusters of hair. Some clusters may be more difficult to cut, so I keep a brush or a comb handy to smooth things over. If that technique doesn't work, then the technique I use that is shown here is a rapid back and forth motion to help me with those stubborn spots. Don't forget to fold your ear down and get that extra hair from behind there as well. We are almost done. Now we're working on the lineup. You want to start with the center of the head in between the eyes, since this is your focal point and your imaginary line of symmetry. You start here and work outward, following the natural shape of your client's hairline. You are basically cleaning up your client's natural hairline to make it look more crisp and clean. Take your time here as well. Since there is no guard, one slip here can make your client's hairline or haircut look like a disaster. So be careful during this process and just follow your client's natural hairline and take your time. It'll turn out great. I also want to point out, make sure you do the same thing to both sides of your client's head. This requires some looking back and forth between the two sides to ensure that they look closely enough alike that you could not tell unless you're staring at both sides simultaneously. Always remember to ask your client how they want their lineup as far as sideburn length and shape. Also, do they want it squared in the back or rounded? You always want to make sure you understand what the client wants so they can achieve the cut they so desire. After you shape up the nape of your client's neck, look over your work to ensure you did your best to convey what your client was looking for in a haircut. Now is the time that if you see any trouble areas to get them cleaned up and corrected, brush any excessive hair off of your clients and you're done.